Way. Perfect. Right there. Perfect. Okay. So, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. How are
No,
you doing?
I'm doing good, man. My dog is 17, so I was downstairs sitting with him because he's blind and deaf and he's walking around shitting all over the place. So I'm trying to take care of him.
Oh no,
Yeah, he's so old.
what is his name?
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm also handling with an old cat, and
Oh yeah.
when they're older.
Yeah, he's 17. He's so old. But why don't you introduce or with introduce yourself as much as you can and explain who you are, as much as you can. And yeah, man, let's get started. Let's start talking.
Man, yeah, that's amazing. And so it'd be also, great to tell people, like, I don't know where your audience is like, where do you broadcasting to? But let's totally, tell the people like how we met, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I found you on Reddit. I was just looking through some of the Ask Me Anythings, and I was trying to find some interesting people for my podcast, and there's some cool ones. There's some cool, and I'm going through and I see I serve in the Israeli Special Forces, and I was like, I want to talk to him, and I messaged you, not thinking you'd message me back, and you got back, and you're like, yeah, no personal information, no other identifiers, but you sent. I was like, I need some proof, and you did your Ask Me Anything, and Reddit verified you, and you sent me your military pins and your passport with everything blurred out, but. And I was like, okay. And you were like, all right, I can't show my face. We can't do any of this. But you're like, I'd be happy to do it, and we can talk about whatever. And I was like, okay, dude, let's do it. Like, I didn't think I'd be able to get this. So, yeah, dude.
Well, actually, the thing about with censoring all those stuff.
Yeah.
So let's say when, if you noticed, when a veteran, American veterans go, live and those stuff, so they actually don't censor themselves. They don't use the face map, or even they can drop a full name. But the thing is, when you're an Israeli, so we had issues when it's like wartime.
Okay.
And all the international media is like totally blowing up, and it's like everybody's talking about this little country in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So let's say like the Geneva Conventions.
Okay.
And their rules. So we don't obey everything. It's not, they don't guide our army.
Yeah.
Our bullets are not all of them are approved by Geneva.
Yeah.
And just because of that fact that we kind of, not going with let's say the Western and European rules. So just because of that, you can get convicted in certain countries when it's wartime.
Okay.
That's fucking shit, man.
Yeah, it is. That's fucking, but I get it. But I get your concern. Because you don't, you step outside some of those. Other countries can then say, because you fight for Israel and because Israel, follows 99.9% of the Geneva Convention, you are therefore in our country a criminal. So I get it. I mean, that's stupid as shit, but I get it. So what's your opinion on things like the Geneva Convention? Because
what's that? Sorry?
No, sorry. No, you go on.
I say it's like kind of a criminal only in people like in Norway or Sweden specifically. Yeah. In US, totally not.
Oh yeah.
In US, you totally when people will actually kind of appreciate it,
Yeah.
And I talked to many people from the US, and they're pretty good with that.
Yeah, dude.
But yes, it's the North European who lead it.
Yeah.
And we do best to keep the job civilized and to keep the rules, doing stuff right, and human rights.
Yeah.
But it's fucking gruesome.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna start to ask is so I'm someone with no military service, like I told you. I have one of my cousins. I have uncles, extended family, but not myself. So one thing I've always been curious about is, so someone like you who's in special forces and has experience with this, what do you think about things like Geneva Conventions or war crimes? Because I mean, obviously there's terrible shit, but I look at it as like Like, war is bad enough. How are we gonna this isn't a city where you say, hey, you can't jaywalk, you can't, urinate in public. It's like, this is war. We're fucking killing each other. How are we gonna sit there and go, you can't use those bullets, or you can't use white phosphorus, or you can't use, it's like, it's war. It's war. It's like Curtis LeMay, Air Force General of the United States Air Force in World War II, led all the bombing runs on Japanese civilians. He used to say, I'm butchering the quote, but he would say, use as much force as possible. Use overwhelming force. Use too much force, because that's going to make the conflict end the quickest.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's mostly started, after the Second World War, and it was fucking man, it was so gruesome. People just, sitting in trenches and shooting each other. I talked through the First World War all the way to the Second, and after that, things pretty much changed.
Uh-huh.
But between, after the Second World War, so, man, you fight in the trenches, and you're just the rifleman, and you're just an infantry. You're such a small, you're like a match.
Mm-hmm.
In this, big game.
Yeah.
And, so it's like, let's say it's like 50-50, and you kill them and they kill you, and the body count is pretty much the same, let's say. But and then suddenly, like, one side is using fucking, chemical weapons. And, maybe you want to, your war, have some intention, and you want to get something. Maybe it's a certain area or an objective, but ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
Like overwhelmingly ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
And let's say they will not be dead, but they will be totally disabled to their whole life and be a burden on the family and on the nation. And it's just not cool at all.
Yeah. No.
So there are rules about statistic weapons. Let's say like mortars and artillery. Man, just like intentionally putting the terror on the civilians.
Yes.
And not even on the enemy. It's on the civilians. So things are changed, and it's like much more. It's just gruesome, and more than it's more force than you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So again, it's this fact that you can win like a fair fight, but when you use like unfair stuff, it just ruining people's life overwhelmingly, and might be even hurting their civilian lives when they're it just sucks, man.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
Yeah. No, it's terrible. It's all, yeah. I mean, it's all war is terrible.
It's sad.
Yeah. Now, what were you saying earlier? I don't know if you want to talk. The first thing you said, the bullets aren't I guess what's under the Geneva Convention. What does that mean?
So Geneva Convention tells you like to use it's called 5.56 green type.
Yeah.
Now green type is actually more powerful than what we use, which is like it's very very it's like the sharpshooters bullets. That's the same bullet.
Okay.
So it's like very very fast. It goes immediately through your body and gets out from the same place that it's got in.
Yeah.
To the body. And the infantry themselves, they use 5.56 white type, and the white type is harmful. Okay. So it's like it gets in your body and it just get out in a different place, ruining your insides.
Yeah,
okay, and this is for killing. It's just deadlier.
And so countries like Norway could prosecute you for that if you were to visit Norway?
Well, the thing is like myself, I don't want to give you just a misinformation answer, because I didn't check this all the way in, and I never actually heard about people who are getting convicted for real.
Yeah.
But they always threaten us. You know, and let's say I know people who like instructed the countries in Africa, like Cameroon, and you know, different countries with the struggle with ISIS. It might be banned from other places in Europe just because of taking side in this whole world conflict.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things. Sorry.
Eventually getting actually convicted and going into jail, it's less probable, but the threats are real.
Yeah. No, okay, I understand. I think I understand. Okay, and so one of the things you said is you were going to go to Africa to teach how to fight against ISIS.
Yes.
What can you talk to me about that? What can you tell me about that?
Well, it's a job that I'm trying to get into.
Okay.
So as a combat self, when you're, you know, pretty senior and good at what you're doing, so you can instruct, you know, the younger people, like the younger teams that come, and, you know, just showing the things that you're the best at.
Yeah.
So I was instructing shooting, Krav Maga, and be just combat engineering, you know, like being a sapper. Okay. And the thing is that these days, Israel can, you know, work with other African countries where like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, you know. So countries that are not Muslim and not taking the ISIS role in the African game of ISIS specifically, so we can work with them.
Yeah.
Specifically, I know only about Cameroon that they does this.
Okay.
In Ivory Coast, Kenya, and Ethiopia, these like the current that I'm certain that I can work in, but it's like, man, there's no job that there's no website that you apply to.
Yeah.
It's all word.
Yeah. I was gonna say
it's not regular stuff.
Yeah, there's no.
You need to know people.
There's no. You don't walk on down to the store and pick up the application and do you want to bag groceries or would you like to fight ISIS? Ooh, I'll fight ISIS. You know, put your sources here. What's your phone number? Yeah. Guys like me know.
And the funny thing is, you know, like, man, I don't have a profession.
Yeah.
You know, I barely finished high school.
Yeah.
So people who like me, and actually, US also have this problem of just laid off soldiers.
Yeah.
So they do, you know, like dangerous jobs. Let's say like being a private army contractor. That those are very, very high paying jobs.
Yeah.
But they are dangerous.
Yeah.
And man, this is what I'm good at.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
I mean, yeah,
you can be good into stuff, and I'm good at soldiering.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what. Yeah. Why would you? There's no reason why you wouldn't do that. If you put this much time training, learning all of these skills, why wouldn't you go forward with that? It'd be silly not to. So things like,
well, you know, it's not that everything is simple in life, and it's very, very emotionally charged. You know, like you're in. It's called the golden cage. You have your own home, private home with all the instructors, the Israeli ones.
Okay.
And it's like great home, and it's like very, very luxurious, and you have like a pool, and you have everything, and sometimes you get fucking lobsters and steaks. Like, man, it's like crazy. But you cannot you cannot go to the capital and talk to the locals.
Okay.
And the deal is, so you do like 2 months instructing, and then like 2 weeks back home, something like this. That's mostly the deal.
Yeah. Hey, man.
And man, it's pretty.
That sounds like a deal I would do, man. I would. Not that they would hire.
The entrance level is like $6,000.
Yeah, dude, that's.
So I would.
Yeah, I would absolutely take it, man. I would. So when are you gonna find out if you get this job? Do you know?
What do you mean by finding them?
You said you're applying for it. You're trying to get the job.
Yeah.
When do you know when you will find out whether or not you got it, that you can go do it?
Well, sometimes it's just so it's like the thing that I'm specifically looking into is either instructing or even doing a high threatened security. So the security jobs, they are very, very well paid, but man, like you should not do it for a long time, like no more than a year for total and everything.
Yeah.
and just the statistics go up.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh jeez. Oh Jesus. Oh man. But yeah, that's.
But every time that you're being sent, so there's a kind of approval by the Israeli government. Okay, so I cannot just go and instruct or whatever I want. I need to get a certificate from the security staff in Israel, and they actually call me to tell me and send the file, but what I can and cannot instruct. So it's called information leaking. You cannot tell everything. You cannot instruct everything. You cannot expose all your stuff. But people who it's also a certificate that the people that you do train are kind of civilized and not just gonna be a terrorist. Do awful things with stuff.
Yeah. So they have to. Yeah, they want to make sure you're not training the wrong people, because they're gonna turn right around on you. You gotta. Yeah. I get that. So,
which eventually it might happen, because it's African countries, it's not stable. So I heard about this guy who was actually my friend, and he was teaching just navigation, but he knows the people in Cameroon that did after that it was like it's like a group in the army, that the same group like a few months later just tried to assassinate some high rank or something, and they all got killed, and it's just sacked ass, man. So they can't do nasty stuff with your information.
Yeah.
So we all need to get a certificate.
Oh God. Oh God. So is the
Africa's
yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It's not America, that's for sure. So.
No, and it's not Israel either.
No,
it's
not.
Very, very
it's nothing. It's not Russia. It's not China. It's nothing, man. It's nothing, man. It's insanity. That's what it is. So
man, I hold an opinion. I would never want to fight Russians. I really don't.
Me neither. Me neither. Hey, man, I'm American. We pointed nuclear weapons at each other for 50 years, and neither of us fought. So technically, we haven't fought Russia either. I don't think anyone wants to. Everyone that fights Russia gets fucked up. Napoleon, fucked up. Hitler, fucked up. Just don't fight Russia. It's pretty simple. Don't go over there and just, you're good. It's just, yeah. No, yeah. I feel you. So,
like I read the different thread on Reddit that there was like actually a U.S. team from the U.S. training with kind of Russian military, and it was like super, super snowy. I don't know where it was physically, but they were like in the camp after the drill. They were like super lazy, going to grab some sleep, and the Russians just were showering in ice.
What the?
Like in the snow.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Crazy.
They are
not able to do this.
That's crazy, man. I
don't know, man.
Yeah, I have a couple friends from Bulgaria, and they're all crazy, dude. Eastern European, big buff guys. They just, we'd go out drinking, and I'd have some liquor, I'd take a shot, and they're sitting there, they got the whole bottle of vodka, just go, and they just like it's nothing. We drink vodka, we have Kalashnikov, shit like that, and it's just like, oh man, you guys are men, not me. So
yeah, man, they're so tough. Like half of my family actually lives in Russia in a village, and I came to visit there like 2 years ago, and they have a saying. They say it goes like this. It's you ready for some Russian? It goes like "Pivo без vodka, деньги на ветер." So it's basically if you have your own pint of beer and you don't drop a shot of vodka inside, you just waste of money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When I used to, so these guys that I'm friends with, they came over here to America in 2011 on like a summer visa to make money to save up for school, and we worked security, and they're all these big bouncer guys, not security like you do, security at a bar, to make sure the drunk girls don't fight or something, right? Pretty easy. But I remember they would all be speaking Russian and Bulgarian, and I was like, I want to know what to say. Like I want to fit in with you guys. Teach me something. So they whenever a girl would walk by, they'd say something in my ear to say to them, and so I'd always say "Do de buff gazad ziganen." I don't know what it meant. They were telling me to
What?
"Do de buff
Say that again.
Do de buff gazad ziganen." So they were telling me to tell them. I was saying, "Kiss my ass, gypsy." I had no idea what I was saying. I was like,
"That's nasty."
Yeah, dude, and they were all laughing, and so I did it like 100 times one night. And it's just a bunch of white American girls. They don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. It's whatever. Finally, these two girls come up. It's like 2 a.m. I've been saying it all night. They're laughing. These two girls come up, and I start to say it. I go, and they put their hand over my mouth. And I was like, why? And the girls walk by. They're speaking Bulgarian. And they're like, they know what you're saying. And I was like, okay, shit. And I was like,
that's nasty.
Yeah, they were like, you don't want to fuck with those girls, man. They'll rip your balls off. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Yeah, dude, they're fucking crazy.
But have you been to East Europe?
Have I what?
Have you been to East Europe?
I have not. They've invited me to go to Bulgaria with them. One lives in Kosovo. I have not gone. I'd like to.
Man, I believe you pretty should. Like, I've been only to Russia, and in East Europe, I had never even been to. I work with lots of Ukrainians, and man, they just tell me that if you're a man, and specifically a foreigner, a white foreigner in East, man, you're just so attractive to them. First of all, because their spouses, like the male spouses, are just beating the shit out of them. It's like very, very irregular.
Yeah,
this is what I heard from girls, and and it's just it's their ticket out to get out of this sticky country.
Sure. Yeah.
And it happens like all around the world, even like South America. I heard it totally happens. Just being a foreigner is like, I know, sexy.
Hey man,
I guess.
Hey man, maybe it works. I can't get a girlfriend here. Maybe I need to go to Russia and be like, hey, I'm an American citizen. Maybe I can find love. No, dude. Yeah, no. Whenever.
Hell yeah, man.
Whenever friends, whenever they would come over here to America, or even I'm friends with a couple guys that came over from England. Yeah, man, foreign accents always work. You're over here in America, yeah, dude. Your accent, you would do great. Come to America.
Myself?
Oh yeah, dude. You got a foreign accent. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. See, because every guy sounds like me. Every guy sounds like me. It's nothing special. Whatever. And see, we got nothing to offer them. They already live in America. They don't have a ticket. They don't need a ticket anywhere. They're at the destination. So, yeah, you came over. You came over speaking with your accent, telling some of the stuff you did. How you fought, what you did. Live combat. Oh yeah, dude. You'd clean up.
Actually, this is what I wanted to tell you, because if you have your accent and you go around Tel Aviv, people just fascinated by you and want to ask you like tons of questions.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, man. Maybe I need to come to Tel Aviv and find some people for my podcast. Just be like, hi, I'm Tommy. I'm from America. I'd line them up.
Good. And you just have so much fun. And I met, like in my work, I meet a ton of people, and most of them are the US. And I met also like an Egyptian guy, like, man, 2 days ago. And he says that when he goes out, and he talks to people, he tells them that he's Egyptian, and he feels so welcomed. People invite, like Israelis, Jews, invite him to come over, to sleep, to eat. Yeah. And it's a very, very big thing in the Middle Eastern culture. Like everybody in the Middle East, if they invite you to come in and to enjoy, and you don't agree, it's an insult.
Okay. So if I was over there.
Also, when I'm pouring, let's say I pour someone a one, I do it like almost all the way, like 3/4, 2/3, let's say, in this stuff, because otherwise, man, it's just an insultment.
It is, yeah. Otherwise, it's yeah. I remember. Yeah. I guess whenever my Bulgarian friends would come over, there's a weird culture shock, because they'd take wine and they'd fill it up till it was overflowing, and it'd be running down their hands, and they'd be drinking, and I guess. Well, shit. I guess I need to come to Tel Aviv, and I'll make sure not to turn down any offers, and I'll make sure to fill up everyone's wine glass.
They fill it for you.
Okay, good. Okay, I wonder, would it be more insulting if I tried to fill it in someone else's home?
No, man, that's great. That's actually great. When you feel at home, it's like the next level.
Yeah.
So I have I have Muslim friends.
Yeah.
They Arab, and they know that I've been to the army. They know everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost everything.
Almost everything.
And one of them, his name is Muhammad, and he tells me, just come over to my place and, meet the family and let's get around. And this city is a little bit numerous because there have been I don't know, 2 times or 3 times terrorists dispatched from there. And anyway, I told him, man, look at me. I'm so damn white. They will spot me from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says like that. He says, no, it's not what you think it is.
Okay.
Anyway, and says, trust me. So I trust him, and man, we go. And I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't pay myself for anything. Yeah. I didn't took a shekel out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't pay for myself. And, tons of people want to meet with me. And, man, they know that I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
They must. And we had so much fun together. It was just amazing.
That's so cool, man. That's awesome to hear. I like to hear that. It's I think for the most part, people are good. Around the world, I think for the most part, we all want the same thing. I understand it's not all good. It's not, if there's a lot of fucking evil in the world. But for the most part, we all want the same thing. Everyone wants to fall in love. Everyone wants to have a good paying job. Everyone wants to be healthy. And everyone wants friends. And you go out and you drink and you eat and then you go to sleep. We all want some pretty basic, simple things. It's good to hear that. I bet it's refreshing, to see some love and humanity in what I imagine is a profession where all you see is hatred and inhumanity, war.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's you put it very, very accurate. And as I grew up nearby the Gaza Strip.
Okay.
And though living in them, man, I never met an Arab. Until I was 18, I never met an Arab, which is pretty rare for an Israeli.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of my, initial thoughts while joining the army, I told myself, well, I want to get to a good unit where I can, meet actually locals in some situations and talk to them and hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
And man, I met in all the hellholes of the West Bank.
Yeah.
And those stuff. And people really, as you put it, they want to make their living, have their family, have their property. Yeah. And that's fucking it. They don't want to fight. They don't really care. They don't really care what happens beyond the fence,
Yeah.
It's like they're
microcosm.
And that's enough for them.
Yeah.
And always they put it in the eventually it's all the the governments. It's them fighting.
Yes, it's a small percent of assholes that are ruining it for everyone. It's a very small percent of assholes.
Yeah, and it's all around.
What?
Once there's an AMA on Reddit, there's one going on of an Iraqi guy, and man, it's totally the same. An Iranian, when they go on Reddit. They always ask them on private, whoa, man, do you really care or not really? And they may say, no, man, it's just government shit.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. It's whenever you talk, I'm talking to someone to do my podcast who's protesting in Hong Kong, and I asked him, I was like, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts? He's like, I'm protesting, but the main thing on his mind, he's like, I have a date with a girl tomorrow, it's just like, oh, holy shit. You see it on the news and you think of nations as one unit. I think Israel, and I just think one unit. I think Russia, I think one unit. It's just all Russians are doing this. All Americans are doing that. But you're right. I'm an American. I'm just sitting here, man. I'm like, sure, I got my American flag, but I'm sitting here, I'm taking care of my old dog. I'm just, that's whatever. It's just hanging out. And, you're right.
And that's the thing. I guess, I think the worst thing about being American, Thomas, do you travel often?
Me? No.
No, okay. But there's a thing when there's American, let's say, traveling abroad, let's say theater in Israel. So people ask all their politics questions for this, only for the American, all it targeted in him.
Yeah.
And man, he doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
most of the time it doesn't have the answer because it doesn't really care.
Yeah, it's like, if I came over there and they'd ask me, I'd be like, I don't know, I'm here to drink wine and eat food, man. I'm what are you doing? The same thing, dude. It's, under Eisenhower, when we first started flying the U-2 over Russia, one of the big things that the CIA photo analyzers said was, so when the U-2s came back, the first flight, and they got all the high resolution imagery, and they could cover thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of square miles, huge, jump in surveillance technology. One of the things Eisenhower and the chiefs of staff at the Pentagon said was, not everyone's marching in the streets with guns. They said most of the Russians, they're milking their cows, they're going to church. It's just like, oh, they're just like us. But it's like, yeah, they're just like fucking us. It's there's only a couple other assholes and they're spying on us. It's like you guys are the assholes. Like, it's,
Yep.
But it's unfortunately the small percentage of bad people, they're the ones in power. They're the ones that can affect everything. So it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
I'm positive about the future.
Yeah.
In those, manner, because with globalization and that internet is so available and I can speak to you because we met on Reddit.
Yeah.
But but 10 years ago it was not simple as
no
at all.
No, it's
and we can speak and we can share thoughts, but 10 years ago it was not like this.
Yeah.
And just because of this fact, the Iraqis, can go and do their own IAMA, and people actually asking, man, on my IAMA that I did, I had so much good time.
Yeah.
And people were privately, sending me message about, interesting things, and I had so much good time.
Yeah.
And it was very, very fun.
Yeah.
And they asked good, wise questions that they cannot get from the media, from the fucking news, because it's not just bullshit most of the time. I wouldn't watch news for 8 years now, and I'm very, very happy that.
I'm so much happier when I don't watch. I find when I watch the news for a couple days, my mood starts to get worse. I wake up and I'm like, oh, the world is fucked. Everything's going to hell. Yeah. When I don't get on the news, it's bad. It's oh no, it's but days like yesterday and today, I got up, went to the gym, listened to some music. Today I'm talking to a guy in the Israeli Special Forces. It's so much more beautiful. Hey, give me 1 second. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna keep talking. All right. All right. I'll be right back.
I'm on my.
Okay. Alrighty.
Just a minute, my friend.
Yeah, you're good.
I wish I could send this to you. This is Yamina Winery.
Yeah.
We are good wine.
Oh yeah. It looks good, man. You look like you're enjoying it. You need to put a little hole in your mask so you can drink.
Yeah. Cheers, man. That's for you.
Cheers. Hey, I'll cheers you with my water.
No, you cannot cheers with water, sir. I'm sorry. You need to drop something hard in there.
I stopped drinking a couple years ago. I was getting too crazy with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
Why is that?
No, it's I found that I wasn't drinking with. I found I wasn't drinking with friends to like laugh and get drunk. I found that I would drink because I was depressed, and to forget about things. And I never developed a problem with it, but I started to look ahead in the future, and it looked like I was going to develop a problem with it. And I was like, let's just stop this now. So, plus I was getting really fat. And so I was like, fuck, I need to stop drinking. I need to start, you can't go to the gym in the morning when you're hungover. And, I think,
just thinking happiness from tomorrow and having it today.
Yeah. Yeah. You said, you were at a funeral today.
Yes.
Yes. Can or do you want to talk about that?
Well, it's my best friend's father who died from cancer, and the craziest thing, man, it's like took 1 year to the guy to go from hero to zero.
Yeah.
Like this, 1 year, and I think about it, and I'm like blown about the fact that, dude, maybe I'll be like, I might be 35, get and I hope not, but maybe get a disease, and a year after I'm gone. It's so fucking fast,
dude. But I think it's important to know that it's, in college I wanted to be a doctor, and I studied all the time. Never went out with friends, never did anything. And when I graduated, I got into medical school to go be a doctor. But I remember thinking, like, I'm not happy doing this. And, in an ideal world, I'll be able to do this for 20 more years, make money and retire. But I was like, there's no guarantee that I'm not going to die. And that was one of the things that made me go, like, what am I doing? So I taught myself graphic design, and I eventually started this podcast. I was like, I really like talking to people. Because one thing I always think of is like, I could have made a lot of money as a doctor, but I always thought like I could just get sick and be dead in a year. And so that's one of the things that kind of gave me the boost of courage to make a podcast, was because I thought it could end tomorrow. So like, might as well do what I like now. And hell, man, that's led to me talking to you. So I enjoy it. So. But yeah, in that time, I there was some bouts of depression, which led to drinking a lot of alcohol. So I had to stop doing that.
Man, first of all, I wish you the best with the podcast. And the thing that you were talking about depression. So there was a beautiful thread that I read, man, yesterday, and it goes like this on Reddit. Also, it goes like this: 70% of world suicide rate is men, are male. Well, what can we do to help them? And man, the thread was beautiful. And they talk about so many things that just was such an eye opener.
Yeah.
About that probably you also and myself also grew up with this man up attitude.
Yes. Don't talk about it. Don't cry. Stand up. It's
man, and it rules your psyche.
Yeah.
Slowly, and it comes to you, and then like you a decade later, you much less emotional.
Yeah, and it's
super fun.
And
I thinking about my guys from the army, and PTSD is much more. There's much more cases of it than you think, and it might be pretty. You don't need to kill a man to have a PTSD. Man, you just need to be in certain very very high stressful situations, and you might get it like that.
Yeah.
And it's not, you can really live with that. And like men specifically are so disposable. They go to the army because they go to the army. In certain places it's mandatory, but when it's not mandatory, it's still men.
Yeah.
It's still do it. And they're so disposable. They send us to war. And when you finished, nobody talks about the switch to the civil life.
Yeah.
Man, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah. How yeah. I mean, one of my best friends served in the Middle East in the U.S. Army, same age as me. And yeah, when he came back, it took him like 7 years to, he was drinking, gained weight, was lazy. And in the last year or so, he's got sober, he's lost all the weight, he's got abs again, he's dating girls, and he's feeling good. But he was like, for every person like me that, the transition back to civilian life is bad and then it gets better. It's like, for every person like me, there's 10 that gets bad and it never gets better. It gets worse and worse and worse, or they commit suicide. And yeah, man,
yes. It happens.
Yeah. So what are the
actually, the cool thing about PTSD is that you can get it from a lot of things. And it's like, and I actually studied it from a doctor very, very lately, like I think like a month before. And it goes like this, it's super simple. In high stressful situations, the body's voltage is going like very, very high. And it might be, and then it like branches to two cases. Either he's like, he's like a more introvert. And so he just doesn't, it doesn't make contact, and he's like very, very confused and mumble, and let's say, or either he's very, very active, actually, but not rationally. Okay, so let's say if you're a combat, so this guy, might shoot to all direction and, yell orders, which are just, not necessarily at all.
Yeah.
And, very, 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 very active. But, you spot from the right minute that he's not right in his mind.
Yeah.
And the treatments start on the same second that you notice it.
Yeah.
So people who you notice that they are not, they're emotionally charged in the situation. And in combat, you might have, like a fighting. Combat is like 2 days. It's like 20 minutes of adrenaline and 2 days that you don't see anything.
Okay.
You don't see a terrorist every day, man, in a war.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just, taking, it just giving them actions to do actions and to be involved, and don't just discharge them. Because if you discharge, it will be very, very bad situation for them. They will feel guilt and they will feel remorse, and all those bad feelings make them, it just ruins their psyche immediately. So you need to let them stay in, actually staying in war and not discharging them, because by being active,
yes,
they are being treated.
Yes.
That's their treatment. Initially.
Yes.
After that, I wish they will go to a psychologist who will listen to them, but for now, that's like the best that you need to do. And man, it happens like in so many cases, like if in brutal sexual abuse and those stuff that are super, super sad, it's still kind of the same treatment.
Yeah, man. It's, jeez. So, do you want to talk? So I don't know what I can ask and what's inappropriate, or so I don't. But I mean, but I have to ask. You're Israeli Special Forces. You have a life that's not like mine. What's the most stressful? What's the craziest shit you've done, man? What's combat like? What's it like shooting terrorists? What's it? It's. I don't want to ask you stuff and it not be, because we're just talking about mental health, and then I don't want to jump in and be like, tell me about your crazy shit. But you did say when before this podcast, you told me privately, you said feel free to ask whatever you'd like to ask. So, what? Yeah. So
I say go, man, it's good.
Yeah. So what's it like shooting terrorists?
Very good question. Because I tell you why. Because if someone, and I've been asked, I travel pretty often, and I've been asked if I meet people and they know that I've been to them, let's say because I told them.
Yeah.
So sometimes they might just ask, "Oh, so how many people have you killed?"
Yeah.
It's not a good question.
No.
Like,
yeah. No.
You need to ask.
Yeah. So because I have, like I said, some of my best friends have served in the Middle East, and I have never once asked them, have you killed anyone? Because that's a bad thing to ask. You don't want to trigger PTSD, but the only reason I'm asking is because you told me. Feel free to ask. So, yeah, I'm asking. So have you killed anyone?
So myself, I'm 0 confirmed kills.
Okay.
And the thing is, if somebody tells you that he has confirmed kills, so either he's a sniper or he's just talking shit.
He's talking shit.
Because
you can't know.
It might be just. I'm gonna let my kid out just a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, because in fog of war,
it's not it's not a video game. You don't know what happened. You don't know if you got him or not, right?
Yeah, like you might be in an outpost with just a building, and you're being shot at with a RPG, let's say, and you have no idea where it's from.
Yeah.
And and just shooting to a direction that you believe it is, but it's not. It's fucking war, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very nasty and very confusing.
Yeah.
So in fog of war, you might be. So we were ambushed, right? So we actually, and I wrote it on the IAMA on Reddit.
Yeah, I saw that.
And man, they just throw an IED on you, and you don't even spot where it's from, but you shoot like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you need to do something, right?
Yeah.
And or maybe you've been shot at and you're in the bush and not in a neighborhood, let's say, but in bushes. And man, everybody shoots to the same point and you don't know if you killed them.
Yeah.
Or you just throw a grenade, you don't know if it took them.
Yeah.
So confirmed kills are
So
the biggest myth.
So no one has confirmed. Or, like you said, you got to be a sniper or you're just talking shit at your ass. You're at a bar, you're trying to impress a girl. I've got 50 confirmed kills. No, you haven't, you pussy. Shut up. Yeah. So what's...
I'm 0 confirmed, but again, when you operate you operate RPGs and you are being ambushed at night and you just shoot at the position, or I myself, I was a sapper, so I might detonate a charge. I don't know if it killed them or the people who shoot them afterwards, from a distance kill them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I arrived like 10 minutes after all the adrenaline went off, and I just see the dead bodies, and I'm like, well, yeah, it might be me, and might be not.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why I keep saying like I know what you're talking about, because I've, I've never been in war, but I'm going, yeah, that's how it is, right? I'm like, the fuck, I shot a gun like twice, and I'm over here like, yeah, that's how war. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so, but
How was it though?
What?
How was it shooting the gun for the first time?
I fucking loved it, dude. I was like 8 when I first shot a gun. I could barely hold it. It was like this big.
Really?
I was hunting, and I shot at a rabbit, and I think the gun almost flew out of my arms. Yeah, dude. It's off. See, but that was a shotgun, I believe, and I've shot a pistol before. I've never shot anything bigger. What's it like? Actually, we'll get to that later. Let's talk about some other shit. So what was it like being? Yeah, what was it? I figure I have you here. I'm like, I can talk to anyone about guns. I want to talk to you about cooler shit. What was it?
Let's go.
Yeah, so what the fuck was it? Like, you got ambushed. What the fuck was that like? Just think you were going to die? Dude, was it adrenaline? Was it just fucking all out, go Rambo?
So we were actually we were the senior team. We called Team 10.
Okay.
So we are the seniors, the most senior in the unit. And the seniors, it's know that they take the hardest jobs, right?
Yeah.
So we're actually back at home resting. And the best thing about the Israeli army, that's meant the outpost that you're serving in is 3 hours drive from your home. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's
crazy.
Okay.
So you can actually be deployed and meet your girlfriend at the weekend, and that is just great. But, man, yeah. So we are back at home, and we are getting called on Shabbat. And on Shabbat, nobody operates phone. Like, religious people don't operate phones, but we are getting called, and it's like very, very rare.
Okay.
So the officers, the commander told us, that we need to come fast until 8 in the evening, and just get there, just get there, and you'll be informed later. So I'm getting on my uniform. I tell my parents, I was living with my parents at the time. I'm telling them, it's just a drill and everything is fine. Just going to do like some logistic stuff. And when I got there, so I get to the outpost, and I hate this word, but I was kind of a commander, but I hate this word. Yeah, I don't use it ever, but I needed to go to the commander's meeting. So I sit, with the officer and the higher ranks. So it was the company commander and all the intelligence people. And when like the company commander, he's like, well, I don't want to say that we are going to kill somebody today, but we're totally going to kill somebody today. He has this bad way of putting words. Anyway. And it's a little bit stressful, but man, we just laugh like crazy.
Yeah. You got to. I mean, keep going.
And so we are being sent. It's a city called Jenin. It's in the West Bank. We needed to go to it's like, how to say it in English. Just very, very highly targeted operation where you need to take off 2 people. And we go, and we're like, doing it okay. Did what we had to do. And on the way back, because when you shoot, it's noisy. So on the way back, we got fucking ambushed. And ambush, which means that we were in the lower area, right? Like in the lower part of the neighborhood. And then like dozens of IEDs, and it was like, this was like actually like in the movies, which you see the terrorist with your eye, and you're like in the corner, and you try to shoot it, and he's like throwing something at you, or maybe shooting at you, and you're dodging, and then you shoot back some. But you don't get all the. It's like very like corner fightings and close warfare. Man, you like barely see something. Like it's very, very. Everything's super fast.
Yeah.
It's just super fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're trying to retreat. Eventually, we did what we had to do. We finished the task, and on the way back, man, we just think about we go like in 2 lines, and they just threw the IEDs like very, very accurately in the middle of the team. Now, the IED itself, it looks like imagine like a bottle of vodka, which is filled up with explosive. Usually it's just TNT powder and debris. Okay, so you have shrapnel, and they throw like some like in the middle of the team, and those that got really close specifically to myself, I just didn't explode because they have some I don't know, just a miracle, I guess.
Yeah. It was a dud.
Yeah, and my heart rate was like 200, man. Yeah, I remember, that people say that time warps when there's like something very, very dangerous. Man, it's totally true.
Really?
And your senses are crazy. Like everything is actually slow motioning.
Explain it. You got to explain this to me. Just walk me through it. Like just explain it.
So I wanted, just to give my memory to implement it to you. But I think we are totally geared up in a neighborhood, and the bad peoples are outside throwing the IEDs, and the good people, just the civilians, the Arab civilians, are inside because they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
So you kind of know, and like everybody knows that we're in, right? We are totally, they know we're in, right? And I just see these IEDs being thrown at us, and some, we dodge them, and sometimes, you just getting cover, or it got stuck on a stair, and it took all the debris, all the sharpnels, and you got saved, or it just didn't explode in the last minute. So it happens, and it so you just hear all the explosions around, and you shoot back, and you just keep on moving, just keep on moving, until you get out. And there was a beautiful moment of the guy with the submachine gun. Man, he was like in the front, and when in the moment that it broke, and all the ambush actually started, man, in that moment he just he was standing, we were in cover, and he was in the middle of the street just spraying like in the scene from Waltz with Bashir, which is a great movie, just staying in the middle of the street, spraying to their asses. And man, this is beautiful, man.
It's beautiful. That's, it's just so it's all in slow motion when it first happens. And it's
for a few seconds, maybe up to a minute, it's like totally time warps.
Yeah. And how's your vision? Do you see really clearly?
Yes, I don't know, I don't know how to clearly is not the right word, but let's say if you look to a it's like very dark because it's night for sure, and you're looking inside let's say an alley, and it's dark, but there's like movement, so you will notice right away. Okay, you got me?
Yeah.
So like this. Right, or maybe if you take a look around and you see all your teammates, so you will automatically remember their positions, where they're pointing the rifle to, like what's going on. Okay. If somebody shoots, so where does he shoot to?
Okay.
And if he actually you just absorbs tons of information in
you just go in
like a second.
You're like Superman first. You're just seeing everything, and it's. Jesus, that's crazy. It's now. Have you been in anything where any of your friends or people you were operating with? Have you ever been in anything where someone is killed?
Injured. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, the same operation. So the younger team did it before, and they got ambushed also. And one of them, just the ID exploded on his ass, and he got sharpness in his ass, and then helicopter came and took him. And he got a nice lump sum of money after that.
Oh yeah.
The best way to make passive income is to get injured in the army while in an operation.
So do you guys ever So do you guys ever scheme like, hey, I'm gonna shoot you in the foot, you shoot me in the foot, and then we can get a paycheck? That's what I would do.
It happened to me and my friend. We were actually in the course, and it was like we just wanted to get home,
Yeah.
We wanted to see home a little bit, to see our girlfriends at the time. So we broke each other's thumbs just a little bit for fraction. To be back home, it worked. Man, yeah.
You broke each other's thumbs.
We're not perfect. I was like, man, I'm not watching. Step on my thumb, and we'll be good to go. And we just switched.
Oh my God.
Life's good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, life's good.
I love you. You're my favorite. Okay. Shit, man. Okay, so maybe I could survive in the military. It seems like there's other guys like me.
Hell yeah, man. Like the people in specifically combat, or the people that I was dealing with, like the teammates, they have such a dark humor.
Yeah.
Man, like when we were training, and you the whole week you're outside, sleeping in bushes, navigating, doing your own stuff. In the moment they open their eyes until they close their eyes, it's only like nasty dark jokes.
Yeah. It's just
it could be like they will point at you and say, bro, you like have more chances of killing a woman than sleeping with a woman. You will kill a woman because you're such a virgin,
Holy shit. Holy shit. But bro, you've got more chances of killing a woman than sleeping with. Jesus Christ. Man, I thought I had a dark sense of humor. That's awesome.
About the other guys, in the same operation that we need to take out 2 people, so it is now like not everybody shoots, only one shoots eventually.
Yeah.
Before you get exposed. So his name is, let's call him Jay. So I told him, Jay, man, you can kill 2 people at night, but you cannot sleep with 2 girls at one night, man. No chance.
You have a better chance of killing 2 high-value targets in one night than you do getting 2 girls.
But no 2 girls. Maybe only one, but not 2. No way.
But yeah, I feel like you got to do that though in those situations. That's how you stay sane. That's how you don't freak out. I feel like you got to be able to make jokes about the situation. Like you got to be able to laugh about it, because otherwise you'd be, at least I think if I was, in war and no one was making jokes, the entire time I'd be thinking about, am I going to die? Am I going to see my mom and dad again? Am I going to go home? Am I going to accidentally kill a civilian? Is my best friend going to die? But if you can sit there and kind of just, take your mind off of it and be like, hey man, you got a better chance at committing a war crime than you do getting a girl. Like, it's,
And the thing is, the thing that you said, everybody thinks about it,
Yeah.
Everybody thinks about it, and then someone comes from the side and just breaks the pattern. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah. It's how else? Yeah. How else would you survive? I feel like if you didn't, you would go crazy. You would break. You'd probably snap. You wouldn't be an effective soldier. So.
Well, the PTSD rates are fucking higher than you think.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
And that's the way to deal with it.
Yeah. Jesus, man. So, what's the darkest thing you've ever seen? What's the, just evil shit? Yeah.
Actually, it might be as a civilian. Oh man, this one is like a total throwaway. It would be so much fun. Actually, as a civilian, after the army, it's this. So we have, as Israelis, man, our country is tiny, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows all the cool places. They know all the springs. They know all the rivers that you can go to. But specifically us, the people who are like, we call ourselves like hardcore hikers.
Yeah.
So we have a spot in the Golan Heights. It's a spot in the Golan Heights that you just need to get close to the border with Syria, and it's there. You see like big sign that says not allowed to enter, so you enter.
Yeah.
Right, with your car. Yeah. And it's just a ruined village, and you go on the tower itself. Like the only thing that stands is the tower, and you sit there, and the border is like 10 meters from you, and you look to the other side, which is Syria, in a city called Kunitra, and you would just see the fighting.
Oh shit!
Like in nighttime, you will see the tracers. You see a bomb. Like one time at night, you'll see bombing.
Yeah.
But mostly, just tracers and people fighting. And you sit there, drinking hot chocolate, and you actually see people fighting for their shitty fucking life for the whole night, all night long. Man,
that's gotta be
such an eye opener.
That's insane. That's fucking insane. That's like some Roman Colosseum shit. You're just watching.
Yes.
You're watching. Have you watched people kill each other?
Man, so it's so far you don't see it with your you don't see their expression. You see like tiny figures.
Okay.
But man, they're each other. And I was sitting with my girlfriend at the time.
Jesus, man.
That's what, man.
Quite a romantic date.
Yeah. Man, this is it's just an eye opener. So when I take a friend, let's say I have friends who are not locals from student exchange, I tell them this: listen, it's not fun. It's beautiful, but it's not fun. But it's an eye opener to see what the Middle East is like. It's not a quiet neighborhood, sadly. I hope it will, but it's not.
Yeah,
and we get the fighting.
Yeah. Now, so when dealing with motherfuckers like ISIS or ISIL, whatever you want to call them, the Islamic State, and they so badly want you and your people dead. They they want you gone. How do you feel about having to limit what weapons you use against them? I mean, like you said earlier, there are a lot of bad things, but when you have this group of fucking barbaric, demonic people, and they're beheading people, they're lighting people on fire. That Jordanian pilot they lit on fire. They put people in cages and lower them into water and drown them. They wrap them with detonation cord. They wrap it around their heads. They cut their throats, cut off they run over them with tanks. When you see people like that, and you're Jewish, they wouldn't like me. I'm a white American. You're Jewish. They want you fucking gone. How do you look at them and this threat you have to deal with, your people, your military force? And then there's something like the Geneva Convention, and it's like, hey, you can't use that type of bullet. It's a bunch of politicians in fucking, ivory towers that never have to see this in their life. What is your mindset on that? You can't use white phosphorus artillery. You can't use napalm. You can't use cluster bombs. But you're looking at these people and you're like, they want me and everyone I know and love. Not only do they want you dead, they want you dead, and they want to kill you in the worst possible way. How can you look at that? And then I'm asking you, how do you look at that and go, we're not going to use everything we have against these people? If I'm you, I'm looking at it like, let's use white phosphorus. Let's use napalm. Let's use cluster bombs. Let's use carpet bombing. Let's use poison gas. I would look at it and I imagine in that point it's kill or be killed. But you have to restrict the offensive weaponry and tactics and, I mean, literally different chemicals you can and can't use. Tell me about how do you feel about that? What is your mind? What is the general mindset over there?
Well, that's a great question because it will lead me to a whole bunch of things that I would just would like to share my opinions on.
Please.
And short answer is about the Geneva Convention. I just don't give a shit. I don't think about it because our gear and our bullets and bombs are the one that we used to use. When they change a thing about the convention itself and the rules, we don't think about it. If we need to change something about the gear, so the commander will tell us and we'll do it, right? Or the Air Force. Man, I'm not in the Air Force. I'm just an infantry. Eventually, I'm just standing in the field with my rifle doing my own things.
Yeah.
So Geneva most of the time is actually much higher than us, so I don't really feel it and don't give a shit about this.
Yeah.
But in Israeli, you hear so many times that people want to kill you, so you get kind of immune to this.
Yeah.
Man, like everybody knows, and all our neighbors, sometimes they claim this, and so everybody knows and kind of immune to this. But the thing is, I see those videos and I say, it's so fucking sad, man. Yeah. It is so sad that it happens to let's say Iraq and Syria, they were like golden times, and then the 20th century came and crushed them.
Yeah.
Man, Syria will not be a developed country for at least 2 decades. Yeah. Doesn't matter how much money they get from Europe or US. And man, it's fucking ruined. And it's so fucking sad because they are our neighbors. and they had their golden times. But now, because of fucking terrorist organization, which is just led by some lunatics, they can bring a country to their knees, and it's so fucking sad to see this.
Yeah.
And the thing that I wanted to get to, people who join these terrorist groups, I myself, I am not, so it's just an assumption, but I was just asking tons of people, like everything that's related, and and asking like Mossad people and people who talk with them, operate with them, like the biggest intake is this: people who join them are rebellious kids who want to do rebellious shit.
Wow.
Now, like raping and stealing stuff, and just being like, it's like laying off their energy. Now, if I was a kid in West Bank or Gaza Strip, man, I'd be Hamas.
Yeah.
I would really join Hamas.
Yeah,
because I had tons of energy, no profession. My family are low middle class. So this is what, I would just from a rebellious kind of energy.
Yeah.
And if you have friends that died, and they were, let's say, it's weird to say that, but having kind of a good time, doing their stuff.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to do it, have the camaraderie.
Yeah. I think of myself when I was a teenager. I got in trouble just to get in trouble. You did the opposite of what your parents said just to do the opposite of. I went to a private Catholic school. My hair was really long because you weren't allowed to have long hair. The second I got out, I cut it because I didn't give a fuck. But yeah, it's luckily I'm in America, and that was my rebellion. But yeah, if you're in these war-torn nations and there's nothing, and there's no education, and there's no opportunity, and all your friends are joining, you figure you're going to die young anyway. Hell, a lot of these terrorist organizations, it's join us or we will kill you. Yeah, I get what you're saying. What else is there to do but fuck it, join. It's...
And sometimes it's like might be the only way for a person to provide to his family.
Yeah, sure.
So have you heard about the farmers shooting like RPGs in Afghanistan on American outposts?
No.
So it's like lately on news, and it's like farmers. Why would a farmer do this? Because he get paid like $200.
Yeah. For
each time for him, it's he just want to provide to his family.
Yeah.
So I never blame them.
Yeah.
I say that war it's mostly decent people in undecent situations.
Decent people in undecent situations. Yeah, it's. God damn, man. It's crazy to hear, because it'd be one thing if I tried to connect that logic, be like if I was in wherever, I would join Hamas. But to hear you say that these people want you dead, but you still see that humanity in them, that's fucking beautiful, for lack of a better phrase. It's beautiful that you see that. But there's also the reality, okay, you see the humanity, you see that they're teenagers, they're rebellious, they want some money, their friends are joining. Like you said, it's horrible shit, but yeah, it's the good times. Now the reality is it does not matter if you see that humanity and understand it. They still are going to try to kill you. Whether or not they personally care, maybe it's their commander telling them to kill you. Regardless if they're a bad person, or regardless if they're just a 18-year-old, the reality is they're still trying to kill you. So, how do you deal with that? It's you see the humanity, but at the same time, it's like, if I don't fucking kill them, they're gonna kill me, or they're gonna kill my friends. So
So you need to be quicker.
You what?
You need to be quicker.
You need to be quicker. So yeah, I guess kill them first. That's Jesus, man. Our lives are so different.
The thing is, even while in operation, while I'm doing the stuff that I need to do, in the same time, I always think, like, in the back of my head, man, I just so feel for them. I'd wish that they would be richer, and have much, better welfare. And they will not do this stupid stuff.
Yes.
And I tell you something about the refugee camps. Refugee camps, there's an international stupid fucking law about refugee camps that being a labeled refugee camp, you're not allowed to have social service no, exactly. You're not allowed to have police, not allowed to have health services, and you cannot have any kind of schooling. So guess what happens, man? So they're like refugee camps since Israeli happened, which is like 80, 70 years old, refugee camps, and they don't get any services. People there are just super violent, doing their own shit just because of this fact, because they're not allowed to have the welfare that they deserve.
Yeah. Jesus, dude.
And this, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
It's only this because of the fact that they don't have better things to do.
Yeah, it's I've brought that up on other podcast episodes. I've said my idea is that world peace, or like at least relative regional stability, it's not going to come through leaders shaking hands and signing stuff, and it's going to come through everyone having enough food and water and a home and medicine. When you have all that stuff, why would you fight? You only fight you only do that shit when there is no other option to get those things that you, like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, friends, family, love. You resort to, okay, you have the occasional evil fucking person, but you only resort to shit like killing and possibly being killed when there's no other way to get those basic things for yourself and for the ones that you love. It seems like the way to terminate all of this is not, overwhelming military superiority or shaking hands and signing contracts and all these politicians, look how great we are, vote for me. Bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. What's gonna do it is somehow reducing resource scarcity and competition. It seems like that's the only way it can be fixed. And then you have to question, are there people in charge that know that and they don't want that? They want division. They want there to be competition because it's easier to stay in charge when you have people fighting. I'm ranting. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know about that. I'm not a politician myself, and I honestly, we have elections, and I barely can make my mind because I don't think that anybody represents what I think.
Yeah.
But get that fact. Around 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, between us and the West Bank, there was no fence, right? And these times were great. Man, they would come to work in Tel Aviv, and Jews were shopping in Jenin, at the same place that we get, that shooting going on. So we would do shoppings in their cities, and they would come over and sleep at the Jewish hostels. And we need their labor force, and they want, and they get fucking good salary. And these days, I work like an employee, and we have people that come working from the West Bank with the certificates because they do need to cross the fence these days, like the border. But man, they're so awesome, they're so nice, and they get such a good payment. It's just, man, business is just good for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, because like we said, most people want the same shit. They just, very simple lives. That's what they want. But God damn, man. So you're gonna run for prime minister, right? You're gonna be a politician, right? It sounds like you got it, man. I think you need to do it.
No, I really don't care about those stuff because I just don't believe it. The system is too crooked to represent the people. The thing that I can change and will just to be an awesome parent to my kids and to actually spend time with my kids and just give them the best value that I can.
Yeah. See, but I think if anyone I think if anyone could fix the crooked system, it'd be a badass like you. You can't have some politician coming in there like, I'm gonna fix everything. You need someone like you, some special forces guy that comes in there and it's like, I'm gonna fix shit, and no one's gonna fucking tell me no. I think you're the guy.
Actually, the crazy thing is, man, if you see all the prime ministers, they all been to the elite forces.
Yeah,
Benjamin Netanyahu was in the fucking army.
Yeah, no, I've seen those pictures. Okay, so maybe my logic doesn't work. Maybe that's already the case. Damn, man.
It is, and I kind of appreciate it. Man, like tons of the politicians, a very, very big percentage are either from the army or the security, just industry. Mossad and our Shabak and those stuff.
Yeah,
man, like high percentages. So they know a thing or two, how it looks from the field.
Yeah, it's not like here in America where all of our politicians are millionaires and billionaires and they don't know or care. I have some more questions.
Man, I would be mad if like a rich boy who haven't been in the army and that doesn't have an idea what it's like will send me to fight in a different country. I would be mad at this.
Hey, dude, that's America. That's what America is. That's exactly what it is. How much longer can you talk? Because you told me you could only do an hour and a half, and we're coming up on an hour and a half. I can go forever. I know you said you have limited time.
Actually, I'm pretty good to go. Like, let's say 20 minutes more, maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. Do you care if I go to the bathroom again?
No, man, it's great. I'm gonna finish my one.
Okay. Alrighty. Man, I need to get like a diaper or something. Every podcast I do, twice during that, I'm always like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I need to get like a diaper or just like a bucket or something. So
that's nasty.
Yeah, it's disgusting. That's why
you're supposed to know the.
That's why I go to the bathroom. I'm civilized. So,
how long, by the way, have you been doing the podcasts?
Excuse me?
For how long have you been doing these podcasts?
About 6 weeks.
Oh, really? It's new.
Yeah. Well, the thing, if you can't tell, I can talk. I can kind of talk to anyone, and I've been doing it my whole life. And my best friend told me, I was at his place last November. We were hanging out. We were on the couch. And I was like, man, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out something to, I want to get one of my company ideas. I want it working. And he goes, Tommy, he's known me my whole life. He goes, you've been doing podcasts your whole life. You just haven't recorded them. You talk to everyone. And I was like, damn. I was like, damn, man. I was like, fuck it. So I'm just going to start recording it. So now, normally when I see someone interested like yourself on Reddit, dude, I'd always shoot them. Hey, man, tell me about whatever you're doing. I'm at the gym. I see someone. Hey, dude, I just talked to him. And then I'm looking at like the Joe Rogan Experience, and I'm like, wait, I think you could do this for a living. And I'm like, fuck, shit. So now I just, now I record it. So.
And man, and I myself, I really, really love Tim Ferriss. Man, I love his show. The dude know how to ask questions. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. How do I? Hey, you're back? Okay, you're back.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what I wanted to say, so you told me that you don't travel often, but myself, I really like to travel. Like the thing that I do as a freelancer, so it's made for me to be able to travel and doing those stuff. And when I do, so I don't go to, let's say if I go to US, I will skip New York, man. I just dodge the big cities and I go where it's like to the undeveloped places.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so my last trip, I've been to Greece, to the north of Greece, and Albania. Man, it's such an eye-opener. In New Zealand, I was staying like with gangsters and drug dealers and kind of these people. On the summer, I'm flying to the STAN countries, so doing Azerbaijan, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and man, you just talk to these people, and it's such an eye-opener.
Yeah.
And as someone from a developed country, you just feel so fucking grateful for what you have.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. So like having friends from Bulgaria and Kosovo, that's one thing I've learned is because when they come over here, you see them walking around and their eyes are open and they're like, like you guys, like you have paved streets, like, you have clean houses, like you have food and you're, like I'd bring him an apple to work, not thinking anything of it. And they're almost crying. They're like, thank you so much. And I'm just like, okay, I have it really good. I haven't left America, but I can clearly tell I have it really fucking good. That's why, yeah, man, I was talking to a girl a couple weeks ago. I was just, trying to find someone to talk to. And in my profile, I had written, I love America and I live in the greatest country on earth. And I'm so grateful for that. And she messaged me and said, if you don't mind me asking, how come you love America so much? And I was like, I said everything I just said to you. I was like, because the rest of the world is so fucked up. I was like, it's not some America. No, I'm just like, I'm so happy that I live in a place that isn't fucked up. It's because like what you said, you go meet these people and you realize how good you have it. So yeah, dude, when people my age in America are like, America sucks, I'm like, dude, fuck off. Like, fuck off. Like, we have it. I'm not saying like, don't criticize the president. Like, always, like, question the situation. Always try to make it better. But this whole idea that America is the worst, dude, shut up. Like, just shut up. Like, we have it so good. Like, the fact that I can sit here and talk to you on a computer in an air-conditioned room and, nothing bad's going to happen. There's no bullets coming through. There's no, I have food downstairs. It's that's amazing. So yeah, man, but not to go completely backwards. Sorry, no, go on.
Sorry, what's that? I wanted to ask if you know the Jocko Willing podcast.
Yeah, I love Jocko.
Oh, okay. So I actually love these stuff.
Yeah.
And man, can I share something with you?
Yeah.
So when I was a few months ago, when I was a little bit down the hall with all the PTSD and stuff, and again, having light PTSD, you can totally live with it. But I had this kind of discipline. I love this word. So I would do this in the moment that I wake up. I put my earphones and I put his podcast, or I put like Army confessions or Holocaust survivor confession, this stuff. And for half an hour, you listen to those stuff, like all details.
Yeah.
And you feel so fucking grateful.
Yes.
Like not like bullshit grateful. I mean, like with all your body.
With your
you sip your wine glass.
Yes.
And you're like, for someone in the other side of the world, it would be heaven.
Yes.
For them.
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
It would be heaven.
You said it perfectly. It's not some bullshit grateful. It's every morning I meditate, and I'll meditate for 30 minutes. It brings me peace of mind, but I also always think I'll be sitting there meditating and I'll be like, where am I? I'm on a clean bed. I'm in a home with food, with water, with clean clothes today. I'm going to go brush my teeth. take a multivitamin. I can go shower. I can drink water. I can go outside and there's other homes. And I'm going to get in my car that works. And I'm going to drive to the gym. And I'm going to work out in a gym. And I'm healthy. And there aren't bombs going off. You know, there's food. And when you can start to look at it like that, you're right. Your depression, your anxiety, it goes away because you're like, okay, I have it really good. And the next morning you wake up and you're depressed again, but you just got to do it again. For me, it takes 30 minutes. I do it every morning, but every morning I wake up pretty depressed, pretty anxious, freaking out. What am I doing in my life, man? You know, but if you just sit there and just, like this morning, woke up, went to the gym and I was kind of depressed. What am I doing? I took a shower and I sat down and I was like, I'm doing a podcast today. I love podcasting. Who am I podcasting with? I'm podcasting with a crazy motherfucking Israeli commando. Okay, like that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing today. Yeah, that's what.
Don't say the commander word. I hate that.
No commander. Okay, what do you want me to call? What do you want me to call you? Oh, Rambo. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. Just a soldier.
Soldier, Israeli soldier. And I was like, that's what I'm doing today. And I'm like, how cool is that? That's what I'm doing today. And it brought me right up. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's do this. And then for the rest of the day, I'll be fine. And I'm sure I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be all, what am I doing? And then I'll be like, what am I doing today? I'm going to do a podcast. And you're right, man. Just if you can be grateful. And dude, Jocko Willink is, he has a cure for everything. He's just, work harder. This is what you're going to do. No excuses. Look at me. I look at weakness and I'm like, oh, hey, weakness, what are you doing today? I'm going to work out. I'm going to take a cold shower. I'm going to write. I'm going to read. And I'm going to work harder. And if I mess up, good. But it's... but that's what he...
I love this guy.
But it's so true. It's so true. It works because it's... Jocko's seen it. Jocko, where was he operating? Ramadi. Jocko was he was a SEAL team commander in Ramadi, and he saw the worst of the worst of the worst. And one of Jocko's quotes is, "Now that I have seen now that I have seen how dark it can get, I truly appreciate the light." And it's, I take it from him. That's why I always think of I'm like, okay, Jocko sees it, and that's what I'm getting from talking to you. I'm just listening to your life, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. My life is so easy. Like, just talking to you, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm running my mouth. I need to let you talk. Sorry.
You say like my life are crazy, but I live life for the fullest.
Yeah.
And now I'm a civilian, I'm like everybody else, man. I go in the streets and I wear fucking clothes and I have fucking emotion and I watch fucking movies.
Yeah.
And drink some wine, I'm not and every year I give like a month back to the army. So last winter we were actually deployed for a month and it was intense.
Yeah.
But these were just training, man. So I look like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I do my own stuff, knowing that, that stuff had happened in my life. And I'm so fucking grateful for that because I'm alive.
Yes.
First of all, I'm alive.
Yes.
And that's great.
Yes.
And yeah, man, it happened. And, if let's say no one from my team has died, right? But even if it does, the milk is spilled.
Yes.
And you need to build yourself.
Yeah.
And I love this podcast specifically. Like, man, I wish that people who like your followers, just would be like, wake up at morning, like we say, and when I hear something that is like eerie, like an eye opener, and put the headphones on and put your fucking podcast.
Yeah.
This is what I wish, man.
Yes. Hey, dude, it's gonna
awesome.
It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. It's
hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, it will, dude. Fuck yeah, it will. Hell yeah, man. I think it's
and think about the amount of value that someone who is like from a developed country like us can gain from this.
Yes. Yeah, make it worth it. Make it all worth it. you know, because it wasn't always like this. A lot of people died to create countries like this. And it's,
Yep.
do you know how upset they would be if, you know, if you took some soldiers from World War II who died on D-Day or died in the Pacific, Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, Payu, they would, and if they could look at, you know, people today and we're all depressed and we don't know what we want to do, they would be so upset. They'd be like, what did I die for? And that's how I try to look at it. I'm like, fucking live it to the fullest, because like a lot of guys literally died for it. And it's, yeah, that's why it pisses me off when people are like, America. I'm like, dude, shut up.
I'm gonna tell you what, like most of the people that actually say thanks for your service to me are Americans, not Israelis. And then, no, man, like switching to civil life is shit. For me, it was shit.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people from my team, it was shit. Because you're doing all those, you know, like there were like at least 10 news reports in the fucking TV about stuff that we did, like my team specifically, you know, because it has impact. And then you switch to civil life and you might be making coffee to someone and be like, sir, would you like to have some cappuccino or Americano? And I'm like, fuck that.
Fuck that.
You know, fuck that. Yeah. But still you're going to switch.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sucks, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucks. And people start telling you what to do because they are your bosses. And people don't appreciate what you've done, and they don't know, and they will not understand if you'll tell them.
Yeah,
they will not understand.
Yeah,
you know. So you go around with all this emotional charge that you have, and just wish for someone like you to ask wise questions.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's now is it. Do you want to stay? Would someone like? Are you more interested in things like what word am I looking for? Like private contract, something like Blackwater. Are you interested in that stuff? Because it's just, you look at civilian in your life and it's, how can I go back to that? Like, do you need that thrill, that purpose, that brush with death? Is that what you need?
Well, actually, I'm trying to get into Blackwaters, but because I don't have U.S. students in U.S. The green card, it might not work. But I tell you what, first of all, yes, I'm trying to. And I told you, I'm trying to get those quirky jobs in Africa, because civil life it's weird to say that it's not for me. But yeah, man, like, we're low middle class. I was washing dishes since I was 13. I barely have an high school diploma. But in the army, I was such a shitty kid, selling drugs and stealing out and selling it on high school and to the students. I was such a shitty kid that my parents actually appreciate the fact that I went to the army, because it just slapped me so hard in the face. Yeah. I would get into the punishment. And man, like today I can hold commitments in relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was 7, I could not. I was getting fired every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was washing dishes for my all young years.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that is.
I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful for that. That now I can be, can be committed and can be trustworthy and hold relationships. And as a young kid, I could not do it because it was all around, shitty drugs in the street. Because this is where I grew up. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get to those weird jobs that you noted, because first of all, it's a great way to provide to your family if you can, and blowing it all investments or I don't know what. And second thing, in civil life, for me, like a new perspective that I gained after the army, man, like so many people are just spineless.
Yes.
They can handle stress, and they cannot handle when they're a little bit uncomfortable and the air condition is not in the right, it's not accurate, the temperature that they love.
Oh, that's me.
And I'm like, man, and I think to myself, and they like brag and talk shit about other people and complain, and I think in my mind, you should be so fucking grateful for what you have, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Say fucking thanks to the fact that you sleep in a solid bed, you motherfucker.
Yeah. No, dude. Yeah.
And it's like everybody. No. Like everybody that I work with are pretty much spineless. It's fucking hard. So it's kind of I don't find myself with a lot of people in the civil life because we are just too far from each other.
Yeah.
This is why I very love my team from the army, and being not with people I just mostly love travelers. It's specifically people that I bond with.
Yeah.
But most people are just spineless little shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's absolutely true. It's now. Have you ever thought about have you ever thought about trying to work for Mossad? Go even higher up in the special forces. What's Mossad's they have a division. What's their ground division?
So the thing is that you can totally apply for the Mossad. You can apply on the internet easily.
Yeah.
Right. And I tried. I was thinking about it. No, I didn't apply, but I was thinking about it. The only reason that I will not do it is because I travel often, and when I travel, I just go 6 months off grid and not answer to the phone, so it doesn't work with their contract.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But Mossad is, if you are in the Mossad, so your spouse will go also through the being having a certificate of like a secretive certificate, so you as someone that serves in the Mossad can just tell her about stuff that you do.
Oh, right? Okay.
Because the emotional charge is very big.
That's
very big.
That's cool. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, it's because otherwise, you have someone like a CIA operative. Not only is it difficult, you come home and they can't even tell their wife about it. There's no one to talk to. That actually makes a lot of sense. They would give your spouse, she would have a security clearance, so you could talk to her. But that's also beneficial for the Mossad, because that means you're going to be more stable. That means you're going to be a better operator, a better employee. Damn, that's pretty fucking cool.
Thomas, I cannot even explain you how hard is the feeling that, let's say you cuddle with a girl, or either you wake up, panicking at night because of an emotional charge that you carry with, and you cannot tell, or even if you will kind of tell something, she will just don't understand. It is so fucking hard, man. This is like the hardest.
Yeah.
Like being in this situation is easier than actually carrying it through civil life, and people don't understand you, people don't get you, and you cannot talk about this.
Yeah, it's shit, man. I hope you enjoyed talking on here. I hope this helped.
Hell yeah.
It has? Okay, good. I hope it has. You said earlier, you're like, Tim Ferriss, he asked such good questions, and I was like, shit, I hope I've been asking good questions.
You're good.
Okay, good.
The fact that I'm censored has given me a lot of leverage.
Yeah.
To talk about things that I usually don't talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
By the way, my parents, they don't know shit.
Yeah. You can't tell. Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah. Jesus, man. So, is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything else that I haven't brought up? Because I obviously I can't read your mind. I don't know what all you want to talk about. Is there anything you want to bring? Is there any topic you want to touch on? Let's go. Let's do like 5-10 more minutes. Is there anything you want to say?
Well, first of all, like two things. Like if you do meet someone that has been to the army or just kind of any of those services, ask him wisely, you know, ask him wisely, because he's probably have seen some stuff that you didn't. And just the fact that you ask and get an answer, an honest answer, could automatically, you know, make you much grateful for what you have. And just, you know, it would be fascinating. I guess it would be just a fascinating experience to have eventually. And I don't know, like, I'm here, right, doing this, talking to you, and I don't know what your audience thinks when they see it. But what I would love with them, you know, to feel, if they will try to relate with me, is think about this. When I take my face mask off, I am the same. I'm a person that shaves and poops and drinks wine and goes to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like, and I'm, you cannot tell most of the time that I'm a bit different. Most of the time you will not tell, right? So, and we, you know, I date girls and I have a cat and I do like stuff that normal people do.
Yeah.
I am normal.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I've been through stuff, but it's totally in the past. It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing, like, if you want to be like mentally tougher, it's not the experience that you have. I mean, of course it is, because let's say I was also sexually abused when I was a kid, like pedophile, but it's not the thing that happened. It's how you build yourself afterwards.
Okay.
It's like the meditation that you do every day. Or just think about this, you know, when you like start in your own mind, you know, like being ungrateful, and then you say, no, dude, I need to be grateful. I need to be grateful. There's people going through hard stuff in the other side of the world. I should be grateful to what I have. And build yourself, and with this discipline, and doing your own, you know, doing the daily stuff that you do, but being spineless, being tough, being committed, and just know that in the other side of the world that there are people that will love to have the situation that you are in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a beautiful message, man. It's, yeah, you're just another dude. You're just over there. I'm just over here.
Yep. And guess what? When the camera went off, I'm going to drink with my friend. Yeah. In a bar and hit up.
Yeah. And all over and all over the world, people have cats, and cats are assholes.
No, man, cats are great. I don't have a cat soul.
I love cats, dude. I love cats. Well, hey, man. Being
a cat is like having a cat soul is like, I love you.
Yeah.
But in the moment that you don't entertain me, I will just go away.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, hey, let's wrap this up. Thank you for being on, and I hope you will come on again. Will you come on again?
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah. Okay, good. Okay, I didn't want this to be a one and done. I don't want you to disappear forever. Come on again. Come on again.
I think. Oh, you know, Thomas, I might, you know, bring some awesome people that have different opinions than myself.
Yeah.
To talk. Maybe like people from our team might love it, you know?
Dude, that would be awesome, man. Show them all. My internet's bad, so it takes like 10 fucking hours to upload the podcast. It takes forever. But when it uploads, I'll send you a message on Reddit. I'll send you a link. Show it to your buddies, man. Show them what you know, and tell them they're more than welcome to come on. Tell them we can just shoot the shit and laugh, and, you know, maybe I should get a mask. Maybe I should get a mask so when I talk to you guys, I have a mask too.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll be. I'm telling.
By the way, the thing with the mask, it's the mask that I got from the army.
Yeah.
And most of the operation we go with mask on.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, let's say if you operate in places like Hebron, and because these days, because of the social media and all the media is, you know, is very, very globalized. So if they take a picture of you while you're in an operation, they might actually, you know, chase you.
Yeah. Yeah, they could track you down.
Like there's an urban myth about someone in Hebron that was was how to say that, captured twice on camera while in operation. He was not a special force, just a regular dude with combat Israeli, and like people put bounty on his head for like a few thousand grand.
Jesus Christ! So
and he did nothing wrong. He just got caught on camera twice.
So should I be wearing a mask if I'm going to be talking to you guys? Is there going to be a bounty on? I'm good. No one's coming after me. Fuck! I don't want to.
You're good.
My podcast is 6 weeks old. I can't have ISIS operators putting a bounty on my head. Be like, fuck that kid. Hey,
but when we talk about the Mossad stuff, so like my FBI agent that tracking me like totally came, man.
Yeah. oh, he said Mossad. He's the employee of the month. Everybody's cheering him on. My guy said Mossad. My guy said Mossad. He got a raise. He got a trophy.
I'll get around the screen and totally bust a nut.
Yeah, he's there screaming. He's gonna get laid tonight. His fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. We just made some poor FBI agent so happy. He's got a trophy on his wall. Trump is going to sign something and send it to him. Great work. Great work.
My FBI agent just get a raise, man. Yeah. He gets a raise.
Yeah. You sick fuck. Okay, hey, well, so I just want to make sure, though, if anybody starts coming after me because I'm talking to Israeli special forces, I need you and your friends, you guys will come defend me?
Yes, but you pay the ticket.
I'll pay the fucking ticket, man. That's the least of my problems. If ISIS comes after me, that's the least of my problems. You guys come over here and you'll be my security?
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, all right. Well, shit, man, when my podcast takes off and I make some money off this, I'll hire you and your unit. You guys can be my security.
No, Ben. Listen, that's the deal. So we do it voluntarily.
Okay.
But I heard in the US that two things that I want to see in US. That your national parks are fucking crazily beautiful.
Yes.
And I heard that you have like everything like size. You have like huge size. Let's say you have a milkshake and you have like very big size. So I just love that. And usually everything is small. We are small people.
Small, medium, large, super size, extra large. Yeah.
Yeah, the super max extra mega American large. This is what I like.
Yeah,
man.
Look how big my cups are, dude. They're, we got a water bottle. This is my cup. It's fucking huge.
Oh wow, man! That's
big. It's true.
Actually,
it's true. It's fucking hilarious. I love it. It's awesome. Well, hey, man.
But I bring some of those.
Bring some.
This is just great.
Hell yeah. Well, hey, dude.
Yeah, whenever it is.
Thank you so much for coming on. Show this to your unit friends and tell them to come on, dude. Salute. We'll have a merry old time. We'll sit around. We'll make some jokes. We'll say have some dark humor, and but also let's have them on, man. Let's talk about their experience. Let's help get it off their chest, and hopefully, like we said, and hopefully it's not just you guys that benefit from it. Hopefully people here will, listen. Okay, I have it really good, and hopefully it will make our immediate lives better.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, cheers for that, man.
Yeah, cheers, brother.
Thomas, it was great. It was great. This one is for you.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
I don't drink. I don't drink.
Man.
I don't. Hey,
like that.
Hey, we're on my podcast. We're doing what I fucking say. All right. We're cheersing my water. Okay. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, brother.
That's nasty, dude.
Yeah, I know. All right, dude. Hey.
Right. See ya.
Hey, man. Thank you for doing it. Take care. All right, brother.
Bye.
Peace.